Drivers, start your engines. I'm Angela Roach, and this is Behind the Wheel, powered by HireMaster. As driver recruiting and retention continue to be a challenge for trucking companies throughout the U.S., the $1 trillion Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act signed into law last November included provisions designed to entice women and younger drivers into the industry. One initiative that has resulted from the legislation is the Women in Trucking Advisory Board. Robin Hutchinson, acting chief at the Federal Motor Carrier and Safety Administration, created the advisory board after sharing her thoughts with the Senate Commerce Committee in early June. And she noted the board will kick off in late summer or early fall. Hutchison noted in a recent Transport Topics article, quote, its role will be to identify barriers to women entering and staying in the driving profession, end quote. Board members will be announced by the end of the summer as the FMCSA has begun soliciting nominations based on a cross-section of capable women within the industry. The goal of the board, once it is up and running, will be to provide recommendations to address the concerns that may pertain to women in trucking, particularly safety risks, workplace harassment, and a lack of female mentors. The board will also seek to market the trucking industry to women to make it more appealing and interesting, which will help to address the industry's driver shortage, as women comprise less than 10% of the over-the-road drivers in the United States. We often talk about ways to help drivers stay healthy and fit while out on the road. But did you know that staying healthy and fit is more than just eating right and working out? In this week's Health and Fitness segment, we're going to focus on sleep, as a quality sleep schedule is critical to keeping your mind sharp and alert while out on the road. It is recommended that adults should sleep between 7 to 9 hours every night, although this may not always be possible out on the road. It should be a priority in order to keep your mind as healthy as possible. With a lack of sleep, reaction time is slower, attention span is shorter, and the risk for more health issues increases substantially. Make it a priority this week to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night and feel the difference that a good night's sleep will have on your mind and your body. In the news this week, almost 1,300 commercial vehicles were put out of service for brake-related issues. In an article written by Truckers News, it states, quote, the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance said law enforcement agents in 46 jurisdictions in the U.S. and Canada inspected 9,132 commercial motor vehicles on April 27th. Of that number, 1,290 vehicles, or 14.1%, were placed out of service because of brake-related critical vehicle inspection item violations, end quote, with the majority of those being in the U.S. It was announced that August 21st through the 27th is going to be Brake Safety Week, where inspectors will conduct their usual North American Standard Level 1 and 5 inspections. The violation percentage from last year for Brake Safety Week increased from 17 to 18%. By conducting standard inspections more frequently, the CVSA is hoping to lower the amount of violations year-round. The CVSA's president, Captain John Browers, has stated that poorly maintained brakes lowers the braking capacity and stopping distance for large commercial vehicles. In order to improve safety on the road for all drivers, proper functionality of the braking systems for all commercial vehicles is crucial. Also in the news this week, the Supreme Court chose to not rule on the case California Trucking Association versus Bonta, which is a lawsuit against California's law known as AB 5. This law would, more often than not, define a worker as more of an employee than as an independent contractor, which has massive implications on transportation companies within the state. The Supreme Court's denial to hear the appeal leaves in place the current injunction barring the law from being implemented, but leaves the window open for it to potentially be enacted down the road. It is very possible the Supreme Court will discuss the case during an upcoming conference, but the omission of the case had Mark Blubaugh, a lawyer who filed an amicus brief on behalf of the Intermodal Association of North America and the Transportation Intermediaries Association, quote, scratching our heads, end quote. For now, the law will not be implemented while its fate remains up in the air, holding with it the fate of independent truck drivers as well as drivers for Uber and Lyft and other gig workers. After the past few weeks, excessive heat advisories in the Midwest and Southeast this week should be much milder. Earlier in the week, heat advisories shifted from the Midwest and Southeast to the Pacific Northwest, where temperatures have been in the upper 90s, but will drop to seasonal highs by the end of the week. Parts of Washington and Oregon will receive significant amounts of rain as the temperatures drop, and rain is also expected in parts of the Southeast later in the week, specifically in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Temperatures will return to normal levels across the country as we progress through the week. And with the summer heat, make sure to stay hydrated and check your local weather reports. And that's going to do it for Behind the Wheel. I'm Angela Roach. Be sure to follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch each episode. And leave us a like and a comment with your thoughts. We'll see you next time on Behind the Wheel, powered by HireMaster.